Not everyone starts out with a full life plan for their future that feels like it was downloaded into them since they were young. I know I certainly didn't. I was one of those kids that didn't even know what I was going to be when I grew up, and as soon as I was in high school and everyone else was figuring out what jobs they wanted to do and everything they wanted to do as soon as they graduated, I was barely deciding which college I wanted to go to. However, also once I got into college, I did end up starting out in a major that I was not interested in at all. It was not a passion of mine. I was passionate about health and fitness, but I never thought that a valuable career could come out of those because I always thought you had to pick one or the other, and I wanted something that had both. I wanted something that had fitness and uh, health and nutrition as a part of it. And so once I found physical therapy, and I found kinesiology, I realized that it was something I definitely wanted to do because I had an uncle and a family friend that are physical therapists who were like, hey, you should look into it. And so they suggested that I take a look into it, do some more research about it, and open me up into the world of physical therapy. I also did have physical therapy when I was younger, and it was a positive experience because I had injured my knee, had to go in for surgery, and it started me on the spiral of wanting to learn more and more about body weight exercises other than the ones that he had shown me, and so I started getting into all that, and it was absolutely amazing, an amazing direction that my life started taking. Um, I did realize that I wanted to be a driving force for others' achievements. I want to help others be the best they can be. I want to join them on their journey and help them accomplish things they never thought they could accomplish themselves. It's so rewarding seeing others reach things and accomplish goals, and it's absolutely amazing. Previously, I did have a general plan of what I wanted to do for my future. I did know that in kinesiology, going on to be a physical therapist, I would need a doctorate degree, so I knew I had to do grad school. But this class has helped me look into more of what exactly I would need to do, the steps I would need to take to get to that point. At first, when I first started doing research, I found out that the organization that gives the physical therapy degree has to be accredited, and I first had a mini heart attack because I thought it meant undergraduate schools, since CBU doesn't have a graduate program for kinesiology. Uh, Eventually, I realized it meant graduate schools, which brought me to the next three schools that I would be applying for once I reached that point, which include San Diego State University, the University of St. Augustine, and Azusa Pacific. So all three of the schools are within around uh, pretty close by. They're all in California. However, I did realize that San Diego State is both the most cost effective and closest to my current location where I live, which basically would make it the number one choice should I have be accepted there. Second place would probably be the University of St. Augustine, since I would still be a commuter there since it's only about an hour away. However, both the other two schools, Azusa and St. Augustine, are about double the price of San Diego State, so I'm really hoping that I get into San Diego State because that is definitely the place that I would go were I to get in. I did also look into some research. So for all of the grad schools, I need about 4 or 5 prerequisite labs that aren't currently in the kinesiology program that I would have to take extra to get into physical therapy because no matter what degree I have, uh, I need to have these prerequisites done so I can get into grad school because these are the prereqs for the graduate degree. I do have to take the GRE entrance exam, which is the graduate entrance exam, and I also have to complete about 100 volunteer hours at least with a licensed physical therapist, and I feel like I'm not going to have very much trouble with that because I have both an uncle and a family friend who are very likely going to be willing to let me do that. So I'm looking forward to what God has in store for the next few months, continuing even into grad school because I'm planning on getting started with the volunteer hours as soon as possible. Physical therapy does have a good outlook within the next few years, so I'm really excited to see what the future has in store. As within the next 10 years, the increase for job outlook is 28%, which is much higher than above average. In 2016, there were 239,000 about jobs available, and the average pay is also a decent pay, which I would be able to support myself or a family, depending on who I marry with as well. Uh, I am planning on not just stopping here, but also continuing to take the physical therapy exam so I can be licensed in California and to get a specialty certification in orthopedic physical therapy. So for whatever organization I work for, I can be used to the best of my ability there, and I can be specialized and be used for them no matter how they need me. Currently also have a plan to make myself resume ready, as I currently have two conferences that I'm planning on going to that are located nearby, as well as a few organizations that I plan on joining and some certifications that I plan on achieving. So I plan to make myself resume ready by joining the organizations, the American Physical Therapy Association, which I can join as soon as I reach graduate degree level, because they only take students in graduate physical therapy classes or physical therapy college, the American College of Sports Medicine, Academy of Integrative Health Medicine, and Shape America, which all provide workshops, webinars, scientific journals, and networking that'll help me become more prepared for my future job as a physical therapist. I also plan to become a personal trainer in high school, my certification through the American College of Sports Medicine or Athletic and Fitness Association of America, as well as continue and obtain volunteer hours through the friends and family that I have that are physical therapists. The more that I look into what being a physical therapist means to me, the more I see how much of a great fit it'll be. I am a bubbly, enthusiastic person who loves working with people. I also used to struggle a lot with communication, but ever since being up at college, I've had to step out of my comfort zone and make friends, talk to others, become a better communicator. Timeliness, organization, and understanding other people is very important to me. And as having had physical therapy myself, I understand what it's like to be on the other side and how valuable being comfortable with the practitioner is. I also value emotions and understanding how the person feels about it, making an open environment for them to feel willing to share their emotions while at the same time analyzing situations and making science-based decisions. Nobody's perfect, and I admit I do have a long way to go before I'm ever prepared to be a physical therapist. I do tend to struggle with memory, which I'm going to have to work on, because having fact-based knowledge as a physical therapist is very important. I also tend to have a trouble admitting I don't know everything, and so I'm still currently working on and getting the hang of asking others for advice, for help, for correction, as well as I tend to get nervous very easily. However, my nervousness manifests in smiling, laughing, being happy. So I just had to realize that God is in me, and God helps me to realize that I don't need to be stressed out about anything, that He has a plan for me, that He knows exactly what's going to happen, and that whatever happens, He was in it the whole time. I also am trying to seek and learn from those wiser than me. While I plan to get volunteer hours, I plan to take a notebook, write down as much as I can, learn as much as I can, because those older than me have a lot more wisdom than I have right now at the moment, so I plan to get more of that, as well as experiences, social environment, and abilities. I need to realize that these are factors that affect people that I will be working with. I need to learn that as either a personal trainer or a physical therapist, it's important to remember, no matter how much head knowledge I have or how good my program is on including principles of quantity and quality, it must be personalized to the client or individual, that I must make them feel comfortable, that it's important for them to be happy and enjoy the physical activity, or otherwise it won't be able to stick. According to the textbook Introduction of Kinesiology that we've been reading this semester, being a personal trainer on my way to becoming a physical therapist will give me experience working with a diverse client population, designing individualized programs, and assessing an individual client's needs through implementing strategies for behavior change. And I hope to be able to work alongside them and be able to listen to their needs and be as great of a practitioner as I can, so that they'll be willing to recommend me and wanting to recommend me, because what people think about me matters a lot to me, and I really hope that they love me and that they feel comfortable around me, because I want to be able to help them alongside their skill development and physical performance to reach their optimum abilities through practice and training. Um, I want to see them become the best person they can be, and I hope they're willing to let me come alongside them, and it'll be the best experience it can possibly be.